I wasn't 100% sure on how to pronounce this, so I did ask Rod just to be clear, but I also know he's from Alabama, so I'ma just play it safe and call it Khantrydiction, boy. Shit. What's up, everyone? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email. That's right here. But right now, you are tuned into my review for Rod McCoy's new album called Khantrydiction. Now, Rod McCoy is from Alabama, like I said on that intro, but currently working out of Atlanta. And if you've been following my channel for a while, I'm damn sure you've heard of Rod by now because I've been reviewing him for years, and every time he's improving and bringing new sounds into his craft, which I really appreciate, so I like when he hits me up to get a review. He also had one of my best indie releases last year with his Smoke and Murals EP, and I did review a single from this one called Pushin' Dope. That's a single from this project I'm reviewing right here, not Smoke and Murals. So I'll post a link to some of these reviews I've done for Rod, as well as to the video for Pushin' Dope. But right now, we're gonna jump right into this one, because I think this shit sounds really, really dope, and he's probably gonna make my top 10 list again this year. Now, first of all, we got to shout out Bryzone YBP for the production. He came through with a lot of smooth sounds, a lot of nice sample chopping, and thick bass. So some of the beats on here might remind you a bit of what Currency would get on. I just got that type of vibe from some of these tracks that I was listening to, including the flute-laced joint called Out the Whip, the very jazzy sound on the Weed anthem, Ricky Williams, and then of course, you got Too Legit, which just sounds so playalistic, man. Every time I hear this track, I just picture these nice cars with their paint shining and their trunks popping. So I really like the sound that he had on that one in particular. And even though the content doesn't get too deep on these tracks, and lyrically there wasn't anything that was too amazing, the overall sound here is very dope. I like the way that Rod and his guests are rapping because they're coming through with nice vocal performances and some nice flows as well. So you know how it goes, man. Not everything has to be deep, but these were easily 3 of my favorite tracks, and I love the sound of these, man. They'll definitely be in rotation when I'm driving around, especially in the damn summer. But just to be clear, Rod does come with some content on here, so it's not all just on that wavy, kind of playalistic tip. For example, Mary J. Jackson has him painting vivid pictures about what it was like coming up in Alabama when his grandma was snapping chicken necks in the sink and making blackberry stew, which, man, whew, that just sounds damn delicious. You're gonna have to send me that recipe because I would be down to have some blackberry stew. And then on the track Powerball, Rod is joined by Spooks in LA as all 3 MCs just rap about what they would do if they actually won the Powerball, man. If they just got all this money and could take care of their family and also just splurge and live it up as well. So I did appreciate these 2 tracks because they give us more of an insight into how Rod thinks and also a little bit about his past and how he came up. So that adds an element to this album that I think is very needed, and it helps with some of these other tracks that might not go quite as deep. Now, he also comes through with a couple of jams for the ladies with Some Type of Way, where we get this infectious, groovy beat, although I did think the hook vocals on that were a bit sloppy, but still a cool track. It's held together by that fun, danceable beat, and also the lighthearted bars as Rod is just showing love to this woman who is beautiful. But then he goes even deeper and gets a bit more particular on the track called Hiigher then, where he's rapping about this girl who has just got him higher than he's ever been, and she's sweeter than papaya. They fuck till they perspire, and he's saying that he's hitting her with power bombs and pile drivers, man. So he is going WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, all up in that pussy, brother. So you do get a little bit of variety with the content here. You're getting that more braggy, flexy type of shit that I mentioned on some of those earlier tracks. Then you get some of Rod's background story, some ideas about what he wants to do with his money or maybe with his success or if he wins the Powerball. And there are those ladies tracks in there as well. But one thing that I thought this was missing is that deeper, more thought-provoking content that he had on his Smoke and Murals EP, because that really helped set it apart, and it also gave it more replay value. So, you know, there is some good content on here. I'm not saying that it's all the way dumbed down, and there are definitely some bars. I mean, right on the intro, Rod is ripping this acapella and letting you know that he can spit, that he has mic presence, and he has his shit down pat. So all that is all good. That sounds fine. But as far as the replayability, it is missing some of that deeper content that might get you to think a bit more and want to come back to it. And also, some of these beats are quite familiar. About 4 or 5 samples on here I've heard before on other tracks. There are some very common chops and sounds being used on this one. So if you've been listening to hip hop for quite a while, like I have, you're going to recognize a lot of these beats. So that does hurt it a bit because it takes away from the originality. And you might hear some of these tracks and be like, I'm already so familiar with this that it's not really sticking to my ribs. But overall, I still think the sound's really dope, and I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. So it is a nice addition to his discography. This is worth checking out. I'd also check out some of his other songs and projects that are floating around out there. You can just do a search on my channel and you'll find all of them, or obviously check out the sites in the information box. But check this one out, man, and then hit me up in the comments section with your thoughts, because I'd like to know what you think about this one in particular. Now, you also want to make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and of course, man, you got to subscribe to my channel and click like on that Facebook page. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.